Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to have you back on the Winning Live broadcast. This is the 62nd edition of the Winning Live broadcast, and I am so excited to be here with you. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and this is the 15th day of This is the 15th day of October 2022. And of course, I'm not in the studio alone today. I am so excited to be announcing to you that I am in the studio with Mr. ORUKA OTUENE, and it's my pleasure to have you. At the due time, I'm going to introduce him, but at this time, I would want you to, you know, um, you know, um, say hi to the audience.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, I'm so enlightened and I'm so happy to be here to share my first class story. And I'll, I also want to thank everybody that been listening to me today. And thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Welcome. So, as you all know, last week Saturday was the 61st edition of this broadcast, and we started a series on embracing academic excellence. You know, I started that session by saying that whether you were a child in secondary school, whether you are in the university, whether you have children, whether you have brothers and sisters that are students, or whether you're an undergraduate, a graduate, or a postgraduate student, you need to pay attention to what we're going to be discussing in this series. It is very, very, very critical for you because for me, I understand that excellence, should be attained in all ramifications. You can be excellent for Christians. You can be or for anybody of faith. You can be excellent in your faith, in your faith, that's your Christian life or whatever faith you belong to, and then not be excellent in your academics. You can be excellent in, maybe physical fitness, and then you're not excellent in academics. Everything counts, and then we must ensure that we do things to get into that lane of excellence. All right. So I started that series last week by, you know, telling you that you're not inferior to anybody. That is explaining how your self-esteem affects your academic excellence. And I said a lot of students, a lot of young people, because of um, the low self-esteem they have, they miss it academically, not because they are not intelligent but because of how they see themselves, because of how they perceive themselves, and because of what they think about themselves. And I encouraged everyone that listened to me last week that you are not inferior to anybody, no matter what people are saying or they are doing, or even what you are saying. You must ensure that you guard your heart, guard your mind. That is the first place, that is the first point to achieving academic excellence. All right. So this morning, without wasting our time, I'm going to be introducing one of my friends. I've known him for 2 years or more now, and I've seen the great things that he is doing. And then when I thought about, who am I going to bring to share his story on how he made a first class in the university, I said, wow, this is the right person to talk to. And then I quickly reached out to him, and bam, he is here. I am so excited, that he granted us that privilege to host him on this show. So, Mr. Oruka Otwene, he graduated, from he's a graduate of biochemistry with first class from Delta State University, and then he made his first 1 million. Now, pay attention. He made his first 1 million. He became a millionaire at the age of 21. And he's an author of 5 books. He volunteers with NGOs, with 2 NGOs. He is a founder of Impact Academy, and he's an online digital marketer, with a lot of things that he's doing and transforming the lives of, people. He has affected, the lives of young people, over 5,000 young people, you know, training them on how to become excellent in their academics, training them on how to become profitable entrepreneurs, training them on how to become great leaders. So it is my pleasure this morning to welcome to this elevated platform Mr. ORUKA OTUENE to share with us within a few minutes what he has shared his story on how he bagged his first class. And of course, after that, we're going to have an interactive session, and I will be waiting for your questions on the comment section so that we'll tackle them all together. So, my people, with a round of applause and Ikla, wherever you are, please welcome to this platform, Mr. ORUKA OTUENE. Thank you so much, sir. The floor is yours now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. I really appreciate your warm invitation. Okay, let's go straight to the point. My name is ORUKA OTUENE, as you already said, and I graduated in 2019. That's 3 years ago from Delta State University, Abraka. Now, I can remember very well in my junior secondary school because I attended the boarding house. So I'm going to start with my story. When I talk about my story, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I did differently that helped me graduate the first class. Because if you ask any student coming to school, what do you want to graduate with? 90% of them will tell you that they want to graduate the first class. But at the end of the day, those 90%, it's only 1% or less than 1% that will come out of first class. So the people that come out of first class is because they are doing something differently, because they have different habits, they have different belief systems. That's why they are able to come out exceptional. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things I did differently after telling you my story. I attended the boarding house in Kaduna, Command Secondary School, Kaduna. That's where I did my secondary school. And in my junior secondary school, I was just the normal average guy. I think then we were about 40 something in class. It's a very big school. So we had just one A, just one B, just one C, just one D, just one E, even to just one F. And I was in just one D. We were about 40 something or 50 something. I can't really recall the number. And then I used to take 17, I used to take 18, I used to take 16, 20, and rest. I was just that average guy. I was not really doing badly academically, but at the same time, I was not very good. I was just that average guy that was just in between. This continued for my just one, just two, and just three. Yeah, and when Mr. Solomon was talking in the earlier part of this show, he said something that I really, really agree with. He said some people are intelligent, but they actually fail because of low self-esteem. And I think then that was my problem, not because I wasn't smart. Then I had inferiority complex. I was suffering from serious inferiority complex. I was being bullied. Even I was being tongue-lashed because of my small size, because of my appearance. I faced a lot of difficulties in my primary school and my junior secondary school. So and that affected me because I was smart, but I had inferiority complex, so that affected me. But when I got to SS1, I can't really recall how, but I don't know if it's luck I'll call it, but my first term in SS1, I took second position in a class of 50 something persons. I took second position. Do you know? I'm sure you understand when something just comes unexpectedly, not as if you did not prepare for it, but you were not expecting to see the success to come at that level. I mean, I read, I prepared, but I was expecting to take ninth position, 10th position. Then all of a sudden, I took second. I was shocked, I was surprised. And that single moment was a turning point for me. That was how my life changed because graduating the first class did not just affected me academically, it affected me in every area of my life. Every area. Because the same thing I did in school, the same principle I did in school that helped me graduate the first class, that is the same thing I'm doing in my online business today. And that's why I'm getting exceptional results. You understand? I usually tell people that the reason most people fail in life, you see people doing well in school, they are first class graduates, but when they graduate from school, they find it difficult to get a job. They find it difficult to even go through life and the rest. I tell people that the reason people fail in life is because the same principle they use in succeeding in school, they leave it behind and come into the real world and they will start looking for something else to do when you can just apply that same principle that help you graduate the first class into life. So in my first term, I took second and I was like, wow, so I can do this. That was a turning point for me. So the first thing that changed for me was my mindset, my thinking towards myself. Then I remember then I intentionally started hanging around with those doing well in my school. Those guys in first position. I'm talking about secondary school year. Those guys in senior position. I became intentional about my circle and I put in extra effort. Then secondary school was okay for my first one. I came second, third, and I think the first time I took the first position was in my SS3. I took first position twice. And when I was graduating from school, I received gift as the best student in physics and physical education. I also received physics as the best student in my class. This was somebody that was doing poorly academically. But that's not the main part of my story. The main part of my story was in my university days. So I graduated from secondary school in 2015, command secondary school in 2015. I wanted to study medicine, but I did not get medicine. I got biochemistry. When I entered school, the moment I entered school, I told myself that I was going to graduate in the first class. I made a decision that I was going to graduate in the first class. So the first thing you want to do is to make a decision. I was at LASUSTEC last week, Lagos State University of Technology, and I was talking to them about entrepreneurship. I told them that the first step, the first thing in succeeding in anything is to make a firm decision that you want to succeed. You understand? So I made a firm decision right from the time I got admission into Delta State University. I made a firm decision right from the time I graduated into Delta State University that I was going to graduate as a first class student. So what did I do? I did not just stop there. I told myself that I need to rewire my mindset. You understand? Now, after making a firm decision, another critical factor when it comes to life and success is the way you think. It's your mindset, how you see things. So I told myself, I'm going to rewire my mindset because back then in school, there's this common belief that people cannot graduate with first class. People cannot even graduate with first class from biochemistry because my department, biochemistry, is very, very difficult by them department. So if you meet your seniors, if you meet other people, they'll tell you it's not possible to graduate with first class. That is what they will tell you, that it's not possible. But I didn't want to believe that. So I told myself, instead of listening to these people, I'm going to listen to people that will inspire me. I'm going to listen to people that will tell me it is possible for me to do this. I said something last week while speaking to my students in Lagos. I told them that you can do anything if you are inspired enough. You can do anything if you're inspired enough. So I wanted to get that inspiration. So this is what I did. I went online then, and I intentionally started Googling first class stories. I was reading stories of other students out there that have graduated with the first class. I intentionally did this back then in my undergrad level. I went online. I was reading stories of students that have graduated with first class from biochemistry, from computer science, from in and out of the country, just to inspire myself. So when I read a story and I say, oh, there's a lady out there that graduated in first class from computer science or from biochemistry in, let's say, Unilag, Univen, I will get that mindset that, oh, if this girl can do this thing, I too can do it. So I went to fill my mind with positive thoughts. These guys in my school have told me I cannot graduate with first class from biochemistry, but I refused to believe that it was not possible for me. Instead, I went to listen to people that told me it was possible for me. And I did not stop there. I went ahead to read biographies of people doing exceptionally well in every area of life. I read about Barack Obama. I read about Winston Churchill. I read about different people that were doing excellently well. Chinua Achebe and Chimamanda Adichie. Different persons in different area of life doing very well. I was reading their story, David Oyedepo, just to get inspiration. So by the time I was going back to school, I was inspired. I told myself, if these guys can do it, I can do it. So the first thing I did was to make a decision. The second thing I did was to change my mindset, was to rewire how I was thinking, was to increase my belief system, was to be inspired enough. This is how I did this, was by associating with people that have achieved that thing that I want to achieve. Success leaves clues. If you want to achieve success in a particular area, go and look for someone that has done that thing, then copy what the person has done. So that's what I did. I went to learn from this person. I went to read their books. I went to read their articles online. I went to listen to their audio courses. I went to YouTube and watched their videos so that I would be inspired enough. So by the time I was going back to school, I was inspired. And in my underlevel first semester, I got 7 A's, 1 B, and 1 C. I did 9 courses. I got 7 A's, 1 B, and 1 C in my underlevel first semester. That was the first class. But that was not enough because for you to graduate the first class from my school, you have to do well every single semester. Only level first semester, second semester, third level first semester, second semester, third level first semester, second semester, fourth level first semester, and second semester. You need to do well before you can graduate the first class. So I had the first class in my only level. And as a matter of fact, back then in my department, we were about 7 persons that had the first class. But in 400 level, we were only 3 that graduated with the first class. One person among the 3 was not even in the first class on the level. He came to join us in 200 level. You understand? So yeah, so having a first class in 100 level will not guarantee that you graduate the first class. It's a constant fight. So what I did was that, wow, okay, I have a first class now, but I did not allow that get into my head. You understand? I did not allow that get into my head. So what I did was that I doubled the effort I was putting. You understand? And unlike most students, that one of the reasons most students do is because they try to copy other people. They try to copy how other people do things. There are some people now that because they see their friend carrying book to the library, they will take their book to and go with their friend. Because they see their friend going to night class, they'll take their book and follow their friend to night class. Because you see their friends skipping class, they'll take their book and follow their friend to skip class. No, I was different. I understood my strengths and weakness. As I'm teaching, I'll be giving you the different secrets I've used. The first secret I told you was I made a decision that I was going to graduate with that. The second secret was that I had to rewire my mindset. I had to surround myself with people that inspired me. Now, the third secret was that I understood my strength and I understood my weakness. You understand? I knew who I was. Some of you don't know yourself. You don't know your passion. You don't know your vision. You don't even know where you can work. You are just there. You know nothing about yourself. When it comes to football, you know everything about football. When it comes to social media, you know everything about social media. You know everything else going around in the world except yourself. You don't know who you are. But I was different. I knew myself. I knew that I can play from morning to night, then read for 1 or 2 hours and still understand everything. So I'll go to class. You see me playing in class, and you think that I'm just a random guy that does not know what he's doing. But if you follow me to play, you might end up failing. So I understand. Oh, and another thing I knew about myself was that I am not a long-term reader. I am not a long-term reader. Let me explain what I mean by I'm not a long-term reader. Unlike most first-class graduates out there that will tell you that they read for 8 hours, they'll tell you that they read for 9 hours. The maximum time I can read is 3 hours. Sometimes 30 minutes of reading is enough for me. Yes, I don't read for too long. Sometimes I read for 2 hours, and sometimes I will not even go straight. I'll read for 1 hour in the morning, then 1 hour at night, and I'm done for that day. But I'm different in the sense that I am consistent. I usually tell people this: consistency is better than intensity. Let me explain. Consistency is better than intensity. Let me explain what that means. Instead of reading your book 8 hours once in a week or 8 hours once in 3 days, read for 2 hours daily or read for 1 hour daily. So that was how I was reading. I was not reading long term, but I was reading every single day. There is no day in school that I do not read, except I am sick or except during the holidays. But I read every single day. And unlike most students that read when exam is closed, I read from the beginning of the semester. From the beginning. The first day lecture starts, I start reading. And this is how I read. Imagine I'm doing 8 courses or I'm doing 10 courses. Let's say one of the courses is biochemistry 401. Another one is biochemistry 402. Imagine I'm doing 8 courses. So this is how I read. I will go to class in the morning to go and attend biochemistry 401 lecture. So when I go to class and the teacher teaches, so let's say the teacher teach carbohydrates, I'll write down my notes, carbohydrates. Then I'll come home. Unlike most students, I will come home and they will sleep. They will allow the notes to accumulate. And when it's close to exam, they will start reading. What I do is this. Immediately after lecture, that day I'll come back home and read that notes that I received. I'll read that notes that day. I'll read it that day. So let's say on a Monday morning, I went to class to receive biochemistry 101 lecture, biochemistry 401 lecture rather. When I come back from class that morning, I'll read what the teacher has taught. Then on Sunday night, when I'm about to go for that same class, I'll read. So I read a note before and after the class. So in my timetable, let me repeat what I just said. In my timetable, I have biochemistry 401 on Monday morning. Let's say 10 a.m. in the morning. What I do most times is this. I will go to the class 10 a.m. in the morning to go and take my notes. When I come back from the class, let's say by 12 I am back. I'll rest from 12 to 1 or 12 to 2. I'll rest. Then from 2 or at night, depending on when I'm free, I'll pick up that note that the lecturer has given to me. I'll read it. Then I'll keep the note. Then on Sunday night, I have the mindset that, oh, by Monday morning, I'll be going to class to receive 401. I'll read it on Sunday night again. So I'll read a course before and after the class every single week. This is not just for one course, it applies for every course. So if I am doing biochemistry 401 and the lecture is supposed to hold 10 times in a semester, the lecture for biochemistry 401 is supposed to hold 10 times in a semester. Because I am reading biochemistry 401 before and after the class, before exams, I've been able to read biochemistry 401 20 times. So let me repeat. If I'm to have biochemistry 401 10 times in a semester, let's say the semester have 12 weeks, but for inside the 12 weeks, 10 weeks are for lecture, then the remaining 2 weeks for exam. The 10 weeks of lectures that I will receive by chemistry 401, I'll read it before the class and after the class. So that means I'm reading by chemistry 401 2 times every week. So that means at the end of the semester or before exams, I've been able to read by chemistry 401 20 times. So how can I fail? It is impossible for me to fail when I've read a particular course 20 times. So that's how I read for every course. So when it's even exam, I don't even read because I've read this course 1, 2, 3, 4 till 20 times. So exam period most times I just watch movies or I even give my note out. There are scenarios where I've given out my note to my friends. Day to exam, I'll give it to them to go and read, and I'll be after watching movies. I'll go to exam the next day and I'll write and I'll get an A. That's because I understood how my body works. I knew myself. I knew that I'm not that type of person that will be reading into exam. I know that I'm not a long-term reader. So I work with my body. I work with my body mechanism. I will just read my notes before and after the class. The reading from the day the lecture starts. So when it's exam period, I've already done the work. I don't need to stress myself. So this is how I read. But for most students, they don't even know how their body works. They just copy their friends. So you want to understand how you do your things. Everybody is different. The way Mr. Solomon reads might not be the same way ORUKA Otene reads. And it's possible that Mr. Solomon will follow his own method and still get a first class. But if I decide to copy him, I might end up shooting myself in the leg. So what you want to do is to understand that you are different and do things just the way you are. Don't try to copy people. Don't try to copy people. Accept your reality. You are different and unique, and you have unique capabilities. You have unique powers. You have unique strength. You have unique weakness. So I used to admire people that read for 10 hours straight. My friends would tell me that they'll go to school as early as 9 a.m., read till 6 p.m. I'll be like, wow, that's nice. I admire you, but I'm not that type of person. I can't do it. I can't do it. You do that, you get a first class. I will do my own. I will still get my first class. There are days I'll just read for 30 minutes. Especially, let's say I go to class and the lecture is just a page. I'll come back, I'll use 30 minutes and read it, and I'm done. But there's a guy out there reading for 8 hours, but it's the same first class you will get. Maybe I'm able to understand things faster than him. But that's because I've understood how my body works and I'm working with my body. So that's what you want to do as a student. Know who you are. What is your strength? What is your weakness? And follow it. You understand? So the first secret I told you is that I made a decision. The second is that I worked on my mindset. Now the third one is this. I know myself. And this is beyond academic excellence. This is about life in general. You want to understand yourself. When you get into business tomorrow, you want to understand how you work so that you will not copy somebody else. When you copy somebody else and it does not favor you, you end up failing. It is critical we learn from other people. You understand? But don't try to copy somebody else. Don't copy somebody's personality. Everybody is unique. So that is the first secret. Now, the fourth secret was this. I told you of how I consciously associated myself with those doing well back then in secondary school. When I got into the university, that didn't stop. I was conscious of those people around me. I was conscious of those people I was working with. Even though I was the best in my department, from my 200 level to my 400 level, I was the best. And every single semester, I got a first class. Every single semester, I got a first class, even though I was the best. I constantly associated myself with those that I consider that they are better than me. You understand? So when I want to learn one or two things, I have people to run to. You understand? So some of you, your problem, or for some people, their problem is just the association. It's as simple as that. I usually tell people, if you want to change your life in 1 month, it's very simple. Just change your environment. It is very, very simple. Just change the environment. For instance, if you become roommates with 5 other persons and every single morning these 5 persons carry their book to the library to read, one day safe, you stay with them for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. One day you tell yourself, let me follow these people to the library. That is peer pressure. So there can be positive peer pressure. Peer pressure does not mean that it is negative all the time. It can be positive peer pressure. So you want to associate yourself with people that will inspire you. You want to associate yourself with people that will help you grow. And when it comes to association, it's beyond your physical environment. Association is also about the people you follow online, the people you listen to, your Facebook friends, your Twitter followers, your Twitter friends, your WhatsApp contacts. Who are the people you listen to? They are also part of your environment. If you associate yourself with people that will inspire you, then you'll be inspired. Most times, you are not just inspired enough. It's not as if you can't do it. You are not inspired enough. So you want to stay around people that will help you grow. I remember one incident recently. It happened recently in the gym. I went to the gym and I wanted to lift weight. There's something they call bench press. You will lie down on the chair on a long surface that's like a chair. Then you lift the weight up and down. When I got there, I saw a very big weight. Not very, very big, per se, but I'm not used to lifting that kind of weight. So I wanted to reduce it. I wanted to remove some and just lift something I can take. Then a guy that was looking at me came and he met me and was like, why do you want to remove it? I told him, I'm new here because that time I just started going to the gym and I can't lift this kind of weight. And it was like, I should try that I can lift it, that he can see from my body that I can lift it. I was like, no, 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 I can't lift it. Then it convinced me that I should try. Then after some minutes, okay, so let me try. Then I told him to stand on my back in case I make mistake. And when he stood at my back, and without his help, I was able to lift the weight. I was able to lift it very well. Now the lesson here is this: if that guy had not come to influence me, maybe up to today I'll be thinking I can't lift that weight. You understand? So I could the potential. There's something called potential. Potential means that thing you can do, but you have not yet done it. That is what potential means. So some of you have the potential of graduating with a first class. Some of you have the potential of being excellent academically, but you have not yet done it. Or maybe what you need is just a push from somebody out there. So that guy in the gym that day was the push that I needed. He was there to help me. So because of him, I was able to do that thing that I thought I couldn't do before. So some of you are like that. Maybe you need that assistance. Maybe you need that push. Maybe you need that motivation from somebody out there. You understand? So that is why you should be conscious of your environment. That's why you should be conscious of your environment. The people you surround yourself with. It is key. It is critical. Then another thing I did was that every single semester, now this is the weird part. It might be funny to some of you. Every single semester, I set goals. I set academic goals. Every single semester. And it's not just about setting goals. Set goals that push and inspire you. Now, this is what I do. Every single semester, I write down my goals. I don't just write it anywhere. I'll take a pen and a paper. Then I'll write down all the courses I'm doing. I'll write down all the courses I'm doing. Then I'll write down the grade I want to get for all the courses. So if I'm doing 10 courses, I'll write it down. Now, this is the funny part. When writing the grade, I'll write 100 for all of them. Every single semester, I'll tell myself I want to get 100 for all the courses I'm doing this semester. So I'll write down all the courses. Let's say biochemistry 101, biochemistry 102. Then I'll write 100. So it means my dream, my goal is to get an 100 over 100 in this course, which is almost not possible in the university system. But I intentionally do. There's something I learned from Fela Durotoye. He said, set big goals, big, airy, audacious goals. Set very big goals that inspire you. So that's what I do. I set big goals. Now, when you aim at the sky, and you don't get the sky, you will hit the star. So when you aim at the sky and you miss it, you will surely hit the stars. So that's the kind of mindset I have when setting those goals. I said that I want to get 100. And it's beyond that. When I write down the goal, I snap it to my phone and make it my screensaver throughout the semester. So I want to put my goal in the front of my eye. I want to put it in a place where I can be seeing it every day. So every single morning when I wake up, I'm seeing it in my phone. 100 100 So every single day, I am reminded. So the day that I am not motivated to read, I will look at my goal and my goal will motivate me. Then I'll go and take my book and read. The day that I'm weak, the day that I want to give up, I'll see my goal and then remind me. And it's not just any goal. The goals are big. Some of you are settling for less. Why telling yourself that you want to get a C when you can get an A? Yes, tell yourself you want to get an A. So that by the time something comes up and you don't end up getting an A, you will end up in a B. But if you tell yourself you want to get a C and you don't get a C, you find yourself in an F and you are failed. So that's what I do every single semester. And the funny part is that I've never ever achieved my goal. I've never ever gotten 100 A straight. I've never ever gotten straight A set. Every semester something will spoil it. It's either I get 8A, 1B, or 8A, 1C. But the thing is this: even though I don't achieve my goal, the kind of success I achieve is what people dream of.
Yeah.
Is what people dream of. So that is what I do. And it doesn't stop there. You always see me talking my goal. So you always see me saying things like, I'm best in my department. I'm the best in my department. I'm the best. You always see me uttering words like my lecturers will favor me. Sometimes I will even call the name of my lecturers.
Mm.
Yes, sometimes you just see me. When I'm praying, I'll mention those words. So prayer and affirmation. See, words are seeds. What you say about your future will surely reflect your future. They say the best way to create your future is to say it. What do you want to say in your life? Keep saying it. Talk about it. So I'll call the name of my lecturers. I'll say they will favor me. I'll call the name of my department. I'll say I'm the best in my department. Muhammad
Wow.
Ali used to say he's the best in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo used to say he's the best. So I will open my mouth. I'll call myself the best. And this is it. So when I told you guys that these principles are very powerful, don't joke with it. I even remember back then in school, I'll tell myself that I am a millionaire. See, as
Mm.
I'm talking to you, then I did not even have 10,000 naira in my bank account. 10,000 naira. I did not have it. I did not have any business. I did not have any job. Even 10,000 naira, I couldn't afford. But I'll tell myself that I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. Then, by the time I left school, I made my first million the next year. Are you seeing how powerful words are? Some of you have used your words to destroy yourself. You tell yourself that, for me, I don't think I can. Some of you, you come and jokingly say Sapa every time online. You don't know that you are speaking words into your future.
Yeah.
It is true. I see that you are catching cruise, but you are speaking words into your future because these are principles that have consciously helped me. I'm not just talking about academics, even beyond academics. I will tell myself that I am a millionaire. Before I'm not talking about 100,000, even 10,000, 10,000. I did not have. But I already saw it. I've already created the picture in my mind. That is the same thing I used in getting in first class. I
Mm.
kept telling myself that I'm the best in my department. And I graduated as the best in my department. I graduated as the best. I kept telling myself that my lecturers would favor me. And my lecturers favored me. It was as if I paid them money to help me. But it was because I have spoken words into my future. And this is something I do again that's very, very well. See, I usually tell people that if you want to succeed, you don't have to be normal. Don't be normal. Normal people don't become successful.
Mm.
Yeah, this is something I do every single semester in school. And I urge anybody here listening to me, if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or whatever you believe in, do it. Now there's this common thing that goes on in the university. Students will package money and give to their lecturers so that their lecturers will help them to pass course. It's called
Mm.
blocking. Almost common. But this is what I do every single semester in school. I was a broke student back then, but every single semester, when it's close to exam, I'll package money in an envelope and take it to church. So instead of me
Mm.
going to eat the money, I've given my mom to God. I do it every single semester. And you know the amazing part? I don't just give any kind of money. I stretch. So I don't just give money that's easy to get. If you see me giving 1,000 naira, because I sweat to get that 1,000 naira. In my 300 first semester, 300 first semester is the hardest semester in biochemistry. Hardest. I remember giving 5,000 naira. My pocket money was 4,000 naira. So for me to remove 5,000 naira and package it means that before I got that money, so I packaged 5,000 naira, put it in an envelope, and went to give it to church. That semester I got 8 is 1B. And the B it was even a 69. That means it was remaining one single mark for me to get 9
Wow.
So these are the principles that I've been using. So instead of students out there, they are putting all their trust in their lecturers, they'll gather their money and they'll give to lecturers.
Mm.
But this time around, I'm giving it to that force that I believe in. I'm giving it to God that I believe in. You understand? But before I do this, there's a common mistake most students also make. They read and they don't pray. Some others pray. You see some other people back then in campus fellowship, they'll spend all their time in church. You will fail. You will fail.
Mm.
They'll spend all their time. So let me tell you something about success. Success is by principle, irrespective of your nationality, irrespective of your religion. That is why you see people that don't even believe in God, they are succeeding. Because irrespective of your religion, your nationality, even your age, irrespective of your background, if you apply the principle of success, you'll get the result. But if you don't apply the principle, you will not get the result. You will not get the result. So I try to tell people that in school, reading is just like planting a seed on the ground. Praying is just like watering the seed. So when you water the seed, it will flourish more. That means, as a student, you can go and write an exam without praying and you pass. There are people that don't believe in God and they are doing well.
Yeah.
Just you can plant a seed without watering it, and the seed will grow. Am I wrong? You can plant a seed, even if you don't water it, it will grow. So you can write an exam without praying and you pass. So prayer is just like watering the seed. But it is impossible for you to write an exam without reading. Even if you pray. If you pray, if you read, if you don't read, you will not pass. I cannot just go and pour water on the floor and expect something I did not put in there to germinate.
Yeah, there must be a seed. There must be a seed. Yeah. There must be a seed.
Yes. And the kind of result you get is dependent on the kind of effort you put. I usually give this instance when Jesus Christ talked about when you sow bountifully, you reap bountifully. But when you sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. So the kind of effort you put. So if you see somebody getting C's because the person has put effort, what is C? But if you see somebody getting an A because the person has put an effort, what? So the kind of effort you put is dependent on the kind of result you get. So the more you read, the more work you put, the better your result. That is how it works. Yes. So I usually brag with this, that all through my stay in my department, I don't think there's anybody that read more than me. I was a voracious reader. The funny part is this, even during the holidays, you see me reading books on motivation. You see me reading books about money. You see me reading books about life. That's what I do during the holidays. Because this thing I'm doing today, this knowledge I'm sharing with you today, if you go to my profile, you see that I share a lot of knowledge about life. You see that I share a lot of knowledge about investing. You see I share a lot of knowledge about, you will not even know that I even went to school. I'm an entrepreneur. I got this knowledge back then in school. During holidays, this is what I do in my time. I'll read the Bible. I'll listen to different people, different men of God, different motivational speakers, different business coaches on YouTube, on audio. I'll read their books. But when I go back to school, I'll focus on my book. There's something Jim Rohn said. He said, formal education will earn you a living. Education will earn you a fortune. So if you want to go far, if you want to do extremely well, because it pains me a lot. This is a very, very important part. It pains me a lot when I see people that did well in school, but when they leave school, they are struggling. It pains me a lot. This is why people say school is a scam. Because the people that did well in school, when they leave school, they don't even know about life. They don't know about money. They don't know about relationship. They don't know about business. So what you want to do is that you want to be grounded in both areas. So what I did was I'll read my books. I'll focus on my academics. During the school time, rather, I'll focus on my academics. Then during the holidays, I'll go and read books about business, and read books about life, and read books about history, and listen to people that will teach me about life. So this is what I'll do. So every single time I am learning. So I have trained my brain to get information, to search for information. I was not lazy. So you don't want to be lazy. You don't want to be lazy at all. So there's much to say, but I will stop here, take some questions from Mr. Solomon and from you guys. But before I round up, let me give you a summary of what I said. And before then, let me tell you, I graduated with first class. I was the best in my department with a CGPA of 4.74 out of 5.0. Every single semester, I got a first class. So the things I did were simple. I made a decision to graduate the first class. That was the first thing I did. Then the second thing, which I consider the most important thing, was that I went to rewire my mindset.
Yeah.
You understand? Your mindset is the most important part of your life. Your mind. See, don't underrate this information. If you are
Mm.
inspired enough, you can do anything. Yeah. Then the third thing is this: I knew myself. I knew my strengths and I knew my weakness, and I was working with it. Then I was an hard worker. I was reading. I told you of how I read a note 20 times before an exam. Then I set goals. I keep my goals where I can see them. I affirm my goals. That thing I want, I affirm it into reality. And I don't just be like most people that talk and they don't do. Some people they affirm when they go to church, they pray, but they don't take action. No, don't be that. Don't be that person. Your
Exactly.
back your words with action. So I pray, and that's why I graduated in first class. See, these secrets are simple. Les Brown says something. He said the principle of success are so simple that most people miss it. The principle of success are very simple that most people miss it. It is common sense, but it is not common practice. The principles of success, they are very simple. They are very, very simple. That most people miss it. It is common sense, but not common practice. So what I just shared with you in the past 40 minutes, it is common sense, but most people don't practice it. That is why they fail. So what you want to do is this thing that I've taught you, don't take it for granted. Don't say, it is simple. It's not just, you say we should read our mindset. Don't just say it is simple. No, it's not. It looks simple, but they are capable of changing your life.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes, success is more of habits. So what you want to do is to try to develop this habit. Anybody we have seen achieve success today is the simple things that are doing, but they are doing it consistently, repeatedly. So you want to achieve success by implementing this in your day-to-day activity. Consistently develop the habit, and in no time you see yourself getting that first class, that second class. It depends on what academic excellence is to you. You see yourself achieving that feat. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Oruka. I'm so excited and I am grateful. I am sure everybody who is on this, broadcast now, they are grateful for the great, knowledge and then secret strategy that you've shared. All right. There are a lot of things to say. In fact, if I continue the way it's in my mind now, we will shoot this video to 2 hours, but we'll have to take it, briefly. And possibly I would love to maybe invite you again sometime next month so that we'll talk more because this series on academic excellence is going to last to the end of November. So we'll talk more and, take more questions, and, there are a lot of things you said. And one of them is that I want to point out that has also helped me I made distinction in my national diploma, and I was speaking to some students, that was 2 or 3 days ago, and I was telling them that we were just three that made distinction in my national diploma, and we were over 1,000 students, So one of the things that has helped me, all right, which you also talked about, is association. I don't see the correlation between someone who wants to succeed academically and then associating with people who are failures academically. I don't see, who is going to help who. You need help, and then you're running to people who also need help. It doesn't make sense. So environment is very critical, and you must be willing to shift environment. I always say that your destiny, your success is so big and so important that you don't need to, allow sentiment to overrule your sense of judgment. Because this person is my friend and I want to be close to him, I want to always be around him. That's why I won't shift to learn more and to become better and associate with better people. No. It's not how you run your destiny. All right. So it's very critical. You also said something about, I was going to ask you, but you've mentioned it. I was going to ask you the role spirituality played in your success, because I believe that there is always a spiritual component as well as intellectual component to academic excellence. One of the things I do every day, and I want to share it with with the people who are listening to us, the audience this morning. Every day when I get into the exam hall, one of the things I do is, in fact, the first thing, once I get the answer script, because the answer scripts where you write your answers, it comes first before they share the question paper.
Yes.
I say a short prayer every day I enter the exam hall. I ask God, please help me, grant me retentive memory. Lord, please help me. The person who is going to mark this script, let me find favor in the person's sight. Lord, please help me against any kind of booking, because you get into the exam hall, sometimes you're not doing malpractice. They will just stand you up anyhow. They will just get you booked. So I said, Lord, help me. And then also there's also a fourth prayer. I pray this every day before I write a pen, I put an ink on my paper. So there's a spiritual component, and then there's also an intellectual component. It's a principle that if you don't read, you will fail. That is it. So everybody, if no matter how I'm not against you going to pray and fast. There are some people who buy what we call blessed and anointed pen for their examination.
Yes.
I am not against you doing all those, but I also want to encourage you to read. Yes, if you want to succeed, except if you just don't want to. I sometimes get to ask myself questions. How can someone be in a class for a whole semester and then go to write exam and you're getting 15? 15 is even big. Some people get 4.
Yes.
Some people get
it's
4.
Very funny.
4/60, 4/70. Some people get 1. Like
I used to think that lecturers are, to some extent, I used to think they are wicked. But because I'm currently doing my master's, I'll soon round up. Like this month, I should be done with my master's. And while doing my master's, I had the opportunity to teach some students and even mark their scripts. And when I see what students are writing, I came to the conclusion that lecturers are even trying. Because
exactly.
Yes, what students write, you'll be amazed at how, even if you don't even go to class, there's something that you don't even write in an exam. See that students are plain lazy. A lot of students out there are just plain lazy. And some people, when they fail, they don't even take the blame. They'll say the lecturer failed them.
The lecturer gave me. The lecturer failed.
Yes, thank you. The lecturer gave me. Thank you very much. That's their word. That's their language. The lecturer gave me. They can't take ownership. They can't take responsibility for their failure. And they can't grow. The moment you don't accept that you are the cause of your failure, you can't grow. You just be there. And that's the same thing as holding us back in this country. A lot of people out there are just blaming the government.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that has refused to learn a digital skill, he does not have a job, he's just unemployed, and he's doing internet fraud. And if you ask him why, it's because of the government. How does the government relate? If there's no job, you can do manual labor, you can learn carpentry, you can learn mechanic, or you can learn a digital skill, and you make good and legit money without scamming anybody. But you decided to do internet fraud. But instead of you to take responsibility, you are saying that the economy is bad. Yes, the economy is bad, but must you scam people? They blame the government. That is the problem with Nigeria today. Youth are not willing to take responsibility and ownership.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So you also talked about prayer and affirmation. That is very critical. Yes. It's very important. If you want to succeed, we have a code. One of the things in our code as believers is prayers. And whichever faith you belong to is prayers. You must pray. You must pray. I've talked about how, and then it's not just about praying to pass the exam. You should also pray to thank God when the result comes out. A lot of people are not grateful. They get good results. They're not grateful. When it's time to write the exam, they go to, churches, go to ministries. They get, beautiful prayers and they hope on God. The day the result comes out and they made it, they will just rejoice. Maybe they say they will now start appreciating their parents for the money they gave to them and all that and how they supported them. But you don't give God the thanks. It's also if you want to succeed, you also need to take note of that. Every day, once the result comes out, when I get home, I made it a practice. When I get home, I kneel down and say, Lord, thank you. We've won this one. Thank you. We've won this one. Thank you. All right. So just a few questions, then we'll round off. We've already overshot the time, but it's all good. I want to ask, when you were in school, you started by, talking about how inferiority complex dealt with you in secondary school. So I want to ask how you were able to deal with that, because a lot of people have low self-esteem, they have inferiority complex, but they don't know how to deal with it. That's a very big thing, a very big work for them. So how were you able to deal with that? Just in 1 minute or 2 minutes, share with us.
Okay. Before I start, I have a 21 pages ebook on that subject. I'll give it for free. If you can share my number, they'll message me on WhatsApp. The title of the ebook is My Struggle. No, the title of the book is My Story, My Struggle. It's been long. My struggle, my triumph, my secret.
Okay.
That's the title of the book. My struggle, my triumph, my secret. So in the book, I talk about my struggle with inferiority complex. Then I talk about how I triumphed over it, and I talk about the secret that helps me triumph over it. It's a 22 pages ebook, so they can message me and I'll give it to them on WhatsApp. But let me just give a short answer. The thing that really helped me is reading of books from coaches out there and listening to, because then I was following every coach I meet online, attending sessions like this really helped me. Reading, watching YouTube videos. I remember then I'll go and watch Chris Oyakilome, David Oyedepo, Joshua Selman, Seth Lodola, a lot of speakers, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Thomas Edison, a lot of them, Jim Rohn, El Nightingale. I'll go online and watch their videos, I'll read their books. And I think that was the major thing that helped me. There are a lot of them. They can message me for the book and I'll give it to them for free.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I wrote a book on it 3 years ago.
That's beautiful. If you want to reach out to Mr. ORUKA OTUENE, his phone number is on the screen already, so you can just copy it and shoot him a message. Tell him you're coming from the Winning Live broadcast, and then he will attend to you. So I want to also ask, did you start your entrepreneurship while in the university? And if you did, how were you able to handle harmonize entrepreneurship, your pursuit for academic excellence, and other extracurricular activities, like maybe go to fellowship, maybe be in one meeting or the other, and all that? How were you able to balance this? Because this is one of the things that distract people. How were you able to?
I usually get questions like that a lot. Full time, I did not start in school. I think I started the year I graduated full time, but part time, yes, I did in my 400 level. I remember then I was teaching in 2 home lessons. I was working in a tutorial center. I was writing projects for my mates. I was doing all these things and I was still going to school. This was in my 400 level 2nd semester. So that was when I went into it, my 400 level 2nd semester. There's something in school, your CGPA is calculated cumulatively. It means from your 100 level to your 400 level. So at that point, there was nothing that would have stopped me from graduating the first class. Even if I had a carryover, I would have still graduated, because my CGPA was very, very strong. That was my 400 level 2nd semester. So I went into entrepreneurship in my 400 level 2nd semester. But full time, it was when I graduated. But what I was doing in school was I was just taking my time to learn about it. I was reading books about it during the holiday, but I did not really take any massive action. So when I graduated, I was just taking action and the rest. I already had all the knowledge. I was just moving one step at a time and still learning, and here I am today.
Oh, okay. That's to say that you were preparing yourself.
So any student out there, you don't need to rush. One thing about our generation is want things to happen too fast. You understand? Yes, a lot of us are still young. We still have the time to learn. So if you're a student out there, you can be taking your time to learn. You understand it? And when you leave school, then you go into it. Or you can even decide to be doing it part-time.
Okay.
You understand? Yes. It just depends
Yeah,
on you. But I was learning.
but that raises another question. What do you say to students who want to achieve excellence, who want to make first class, who want to achieve greatness academically, but they are the ones sort of sponsoring or even full-time sponsoring themselves in school. There are people who are not privileged enough to have parents that will pay their school fees. They are the ones who are running around to make sure that school fees is paid, textbook is bought, and all that. And they still want to maintain, they still want to get that, level of excellence.
Yeah, everything is possible. I've seen students that graduated in first class pursuing um while pursuing money. And there's as a student in school, there's one way to get money.
Mm.
Very, very simple way to make money as a student in school is by teaching what you know to other students. There are a lot of students out there. I use this method to make money. A lot of students out there that will pay you to come and teach them what you know. So when you are doing this, you are killing two birds with one stone. You
Exactly.
are already teaching the stuff. So you can decide to be doing tutorials for your mates. I did it in school. I used it. I remember I bought my first good phone because I've used a lot of phones, but then we have one problem or another. I bought my first good phone with the money I made from tutorials. We're three that graduated the first class in my department. Three of us, we joined together and we started doing tutorials for those in 200 level, 300 level, and even our mates. And these students were paying 15 naira per class. Some were even paying 100 naira per class.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, I did it in my 400 level. That was how I was even making money. I made money in school most times through teaching people. So to teach is to learn twice.
Exactly.
You understand? So when you read, you teach, you know it. You can. So for someone that is feeding himself, you can go through that method. It's not more that you must do other things to make money. You know you want to graduate to first class and you want to still make money. Why not just be teaching the same job? So that when you go and write exam, it's already a common knowledge. You can just, you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
not. It's possible. It's very possible. Even if you don't want to teach, it's just for you to be able to manage your time properly and be able to sacrifice. You should be able to sacrifice social life. You
Mm.
understand? Yes, you should be
Mm.
able to do it. For me, I did not really have any serious social life until my 400 level. And this was because I knew my CGPA was strong. I can afford to play. But in my
Mm.
100 level and 200 level, I did not really have any social life. I was focused. I was living a triangular life from church to school to my house. I don't have anywhere I was going to. It was until my
Mm.
400 level I started going out with my friends to the beach. It was on my 400 level I started going out with my friends to restaurants and the rest. But before I was just focused on academics. So you should be
Wow.
willing to sacrifice if you want to go through that part. Sacrifice a lot.
Exactly. Exactly. There should be a willingness to sacrifice some things at this time so that when it's time for you to enjoy it, you enjoy it big time. All right. So, finally, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on, what will you advise students who think that they must cut corners, to achieve excellence academically? They must pay the lecturers for sorting. They must sleep with lecturers to gain good grades. They must do all sorts of things to ensure that they gain academic. What do you advise them?
And Mr. Solomon, I don't know if you have seen first class students that are not confident. I don't know if you have seen first class graduates and you wonder how they graduated the first class. I don't know if you have seen those kind of people. I don't know if you have met those kind of people. They are not even confident. You see, one thing about cutting corners to achieve success is this. You will
Mm-hmm.
not be confident of it. As I am
Exactly.
now,
Because
any day you can wait me anytime, I will defend my results. Even if I don't remember everything. When I talk, you know that this guy have it in me. I will defend it. There's that confidence, that peace that comes when you do things the right way.
exactly.
You understand? So if you are that type of person that wants to cut corners, you will not get that kind of peace. And let me tell you something. I wanted to become a lecturer, so I know a lot about how the lecturing world works. I know a lot. I wanted to become a lecturer, and I went, yes, that's true. I studied a lot. See, you cannot cut corners and you get a first class.
That's what I wanted to point out. I wanted to say that it's not possible.
You just pass and go.
Yes.
You will pass. You get a C.
Mm.
But
Mm.
the lecturers are not foolish. They only give it to those that merit it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to pass. Definitely. You will not come back for extension. You will not write the course. But you cannot even get a first class. You won't get a 2-2.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that's how the school system works.
Exactly.
Even if you decide to buy a result,
That's I
you will
wanted,
not get
wanted
it.
to you'll not get it. You will not.
Yes.
So it calls for intentionality. I want to say thank you, Mr. Oruka, for being on this show and sharing your wealth of experience and knowledge. I am really, really grateful to you for this. And before we round off, I would want to have your parting words to our audience, and then tell us about your community, tell us about your books, tell us about how we can get access to your materials and all that.
Okay. I'm active on Facebook and Twitter, but I'm mostly active on WhatsApp. So I don't know if you can drop my number again on the screen. That's my WhatsApp number. You can just message me on WhatsApp and view my status. You understand? I have a lot of courses selling my WhatsApp status. By the time you get to view my status 1 week, 2 week, and you're interested in any of them, then we can work together. But the most important thing for me to connect with you right now. So when you message me, you should tell me your name and tell me that you're coming from this broadcast so that I will know. Then I'll send you the free ebook I promised. I'll send you the free ebook I promised, and that's it. So you can also follow me on Twitter, ORUKA OTUENE. Follow me on Facebook, ORUKA OTUENE, and that's it. That's how we can connect for now. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. We've been having an amazing time today. It was supposed to be a 40-minute broadcast, but this is 1 hour, almost 1 hour 7 minutes. We are going to be rounding off at this time, and I want to especially thank everyone who has tuned in. We had a lot of traffic today, just like we also did last week. I want to say thank you to everyone who has tuned in. You have learned something. Please drop it in the comment section what you learned. You want to share this broadcast to your friends. You want to copy the link and share it to your group, your school group if you're still a student, or share it to maybe your sister, your brother, somebody who really needs to learn this. People who are still in secondary school, who are in their SS2, SS3, who are preparing for the university. Please share this link to them. It's going to help them. All right. Next week Saturday we are coming back, and I'm going to be having a guest, a very good friend and brother of mine, and we'll be talking about beyond the classroom. What do you do beyond the classroom? And it's going to be an awesome experience. I want you to be there. Please don't miss it. If you want to succeed even beyond the classroom, you just don't go to class and listen to lectures and then you succeed academically just by that. There are things, and Mr. Ruka has also shared a lot of them, and we're going to be expounding on them next week. I want to sincerely thank you for being here, and please don't miss next week's session. God bless you, and see you soon. Thank you, Mr. Oruka. I sincerely appreciate you.